And you touch a little bit on wines we have here in South Africa. So how do South African wines age in comparison to the old world standard?
If we go back a little bit, very well. So it's quite a long story probably, but let me see if I can speed it up. Of the greatest wines I've ever had, so one of my, say, top 5 wines would be a 1957 Chateau Libertas, which I had just a few years ago. One of the other, say, top 20 wines would be the GS 1966 from South Africa, proving that these wines, South African wines, can mature 20, 30, 40, 60 years. And I've had quite a few from the 60s, etc. So South African wines, we know, can mature. They can last very long. Then we have to add history on top of that. Winemaking, time and space, how people interact with it, what they thought, what they brought to the table. We were out of the mix for quite some time. White wine was quite fashionable. Sweet wines were the de rigueur kind of way of making stuff. Back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, South Africa probably had 12, say 18 red wines, bottled red wines. Red wine was rare, it was scarce, so whoever made red wine, made proper red wine. They made red wine for a serious moment, and red wines were made expecting it to last. So that's where red wine was. Fast forward to us entering the world of wine again, and you've got a whole plethora of people just making red wine and thinking they can produce great red wines. Of the first instances of something that's important in changing how we made wine was small new barrels. So these came in the 80s. That changed the way that we made wine quite a bit. South Africa, would we have gotten the best barrels in the world? I doubt it. So that would have changed our winemaking. There was a so-called Mr. Robert Parker that kind of chased physiological ripeness, alcohol ripeness in wines. We kind of followed that kind of route. We looked outside to find out how we should make wines. And I don't believe the wines from the 80s and the 90s have the longevity of the previous realm, but I do believe that what we're doing now, post 2015, we probably start seeing producers making wines that can, again, age 30, 40, 50, 60 years. That said, 99 Cab from, say, Peter Barlow, awesome, bulletproof wine. There's some other greats, some of the old KWV Rudebergs from the 80s. Every time I pull a cork, they're fantastic. So there were some successes as well. And even the Chateau Libertas wines from the late 70s and early 80s. So our red wines can mature. I think we're going to see better maturation from them in the future. The wines are, however, made in a lighter style, so we will learn in time how important tannin density is in terms of longevity, and how important acidity is. The old school wines were 12.5% alcohol. We've kind of went right up to 14, 14.5, 15 plus. Now we're moving back to, cabs around 14%, other red wines 13.5 for like really fine wine positioning.
You tell a really good story, James, just by the way. And I'm in awe with the wines that you've had the opportunity to drink. That's amazing.
Yeah, and this speaks to something else that's really important in the South African industry. And it's almost like a plea, and I do have little whispers in people's ears, but those people that have, like I include myself as a company that has access to great wines, I like to bring young people into the company, into the mix. We share quite a bit of wine. We taste wine regularly. Duncan Savage is down the road from us, and he's got a young, nice crew as well. And drinking older wines with younger people is crucial to the industry. And the access to mature wines, especially of quality, is going to become more and more important for us to make sure that the generational shift of people believing in the magic of wine does happen. Because if you haven't had a great definitive bottle of wine that makes you understand what a mature wine can taste like, you're not going to believe it can happen. So this is a crucial kind of shift in the story, is to bring mature wines to the younger audience, and they need to taste them. They need to taste them and experience them. And you can't open them at a stand in a room where there are 30 or 40 people trying to taste wines and go like, here's a mature wine. You have to land at the mature wine with the right attitude. You need to be guided there. Otherwise you're just going to go like, well, this isn't great. Because volatility, which is VA, is a balsamic vinegar kind of element, or just vinegar, off-putting. shoe polish is a wonderful element of older, mature wines. But at the right time, it's intriguing and interesting. At the wrong time, it's really off-putting. And I like them in a wine in a certain stage. Same with how many people like earthiness or savoriness, and when do they enjoy that? Do they understand that? So that's quite a tricky thing.